Here are 3 players to watch in the NCAA tournament that if you don't know, you better ask somebody. Everyone just loves New Mexico to upset number 6, have the potential to go at least one more round. Deron Holmes, Shahade Wells, and Enrique Freeman, 3 players you have to know about. It's a Bayesian process. We say it all the time. And college basketball is a Bayesian process, meaning it evolves, it changes, it's fluid. Here's what we've done so far this year. We've started out scalding hot, just absolutely crushing it. Then we hit a little dip in December. Then we recovered, got scalding hot again. And then Saturday went up and down, battled. But what did we do last night in the Discord? 6-1. And you want to know the reason why? Let me read off the picks last night in the Discord that I put out for FTN Fantasy, which is why you have to subscribe. You can see on the bottom here, go to ftnfantasy.com. You subscribe to FTN Fantasy, monthly, annual subscription, early 15, get you 15% off. And then you get in our Discord right at the top of the screen, and you get these. Ready? You tell me, folks, what the common theme is. Lehigh plus 3.5. Florida A&M plus 2. Lamar plus 2.5. North Carolina Central plus 9.5. William & Mary plus 2.5. And the only one we got wrong, Pittsburgh minus 12.5, but we recovered because we got the live line at half. All of those were underdogs. I told you that the season will ebb and flow, and right now you have to give me a reason to take the favorite. That is the answer, and that is how we're going to look at our picks today. We're here today, we're here Thursday, we're here Saturday. You know the drill. Going to be on the Mad Dog Radio tonight, so make sure you hop in there. I'll be on there live at 8 o'clock with Dustin Sweetelson and Patrick Maher, my guys, and I'll give you my pick of the day, which will be in Discord ahead of time. And remember, we have now hit 4 straight winners on the Mad Dog Show Tuesday nights on Mad Dog Channel 82. 4 weeks, 4 picks, 4 winners. What's tonight going to be? We'll find out. Let's get to the comments. Hit the like button. Appreciate it. High rolling. Yes, 6-1 was good. That's the deal. This is what we do. This is what we do. It's a Bayesian process. Thank you very much. Let's see. Another great opportunity today. We appreciate it, of course. Bonnie's on the road. You're on them. We'll see. Tommy, that's the question. Ben, great to see you, buddy. Cheers. Great to have you here as always. Morning, everybody. We're in the house. And we got the dogs. Let's go. Let's get to the picks. Here we go, folks. Start off. Okay. Tuesday means the MAC. Let me fix my banner here. Hold on, guys. Hold on. There we go. Sorry. Tuesday means the MAC. And that means we have to get into the MACtion. And there is something very important that you have to know about MACtion here, which is why I'm going to explain it right now. The Mid-America Conference is playing a conference game today. Their next game that they're playing is a crossover against the Sun Belt. So there is no look ahead. They're not looking ahead to a non-conference game in the Sun Belt. In fact, those games tend to be opportunities to take anyone who's an underdog because it's very hard to measure them because you're not playing them consistently. So this is the last game for Akron. They are perfect 9-0 in the Mid-America Conference. Now, going back to what I just told you, you have to be confident in the favorite. I am. I don't see how this is a sleepy spot. Ball State is not good under Mike Lewis. Ball State is terrible at forcing turnovers. They're terrible on the boards. They're not great at defending inside the arc. They're coming off a win at Buffalo. Congratulations. Akron is by far the best team in the MAC. They're perfect 9-0. They're a game ahead of Miami. They're 2 games ahead of Toledo. They can't stumble here. And they are playing Ball State, and I think they blow them out. Their pace is super fast. They're great on defense. They're great on offense. I know this is a big number, but look at what they have done at home, Akron. They beat Miami of Ohio by 27. They beat Ohio, who's a much better team than Ball State. At home, they hung 92. They won by 12. They beat Toledo, who's a really good team, by 7. They beat Central Michigan by 16. I think they cover the number here. There is no look ahead. I don't think Ball State's very good. Again, these are small wagers. I am going in order from least confidence to most confidence. We will start with a favorite. Not surprised that the favorite's at the least confident. Akron, minus 14.5. Followed up with another favorite in Toledo, minus 13.5. Now, Toledo is 7-2. They are 2 games behind Akron. They cannot afford to mess up here. They have won 3 straight games. They beat Bowling Green, Ohio, and Northern Illinois. And in each of those games, they've hung 80 points. So I have no reason to believe that at home today against a terrible Buffalo team, they are not going to reach 80. So the question is, can Buffalo get to 70? And I think the answer is no. Toledo plays at a fast pace. They don't turn the ball over. They make their free throws. They struggle from behind the arc. So even last night, when we saw a game like Florida A&M against Alabama State, it's a very similar profile. Alabama State shoots a lot of threes, but they don't make a lot of threes. Buffalo shoots a lot of threes. 46% of the shots come from beyond the arc. They don't make a lot of them. So there's always that risk of variance. But what I loved about last night is even though Alabama State came out scalding hot, 6 of 9 from three-point range, they got up 15, 18 points. We were still able to get to cover because we trusted our projections and trusted our metrics, and that's what we're doing here. Toledo needs this game. Ball State has lost 3 of the last 4. Toledo wants to go to 8-2. Then they have the game against James Madison, the Sun Belt crossover, and then they get into the second half of the season here. They believe strongly that they can make a run for the title. They have one more game against Akron, so all they need is for Akron to mess up one more time. If Akron messes up one time, then that game gives them a chance to get a tie for first place. I think we get a good effort here. I'm going with Toledo minus 13.5. Now let's flip it the other way. I don't think Ohio's very good. I have not liked Ohio all year. I watched them several times. I watched them against Akron. I watched them against Toledo. I even watched them against Kent State at home, who has no offense whatsoever. They're not good. They're playing a Western Michigan team in the MAC here that's coming off 2 straight wins against Ball State away and Eastern Michigan at home. They're playing well. They're playing better. You're giving me an awfully high number here with 9.5 against Ohio. Ohio is sloppy. They turn the ball over. They're not really great on offense. Their numbers don't jump out. They're not great on the boards. I don't think this is one of Jeff Bohl's good teams. And I know everyone likes Ohio because they tend to be very good at home, and they historically have been very good under Jeff Bohl. If you look at their history, 20 wins, 19 wins, 25 wins, 14-6, 13-5. They do very well here in the MAC. I like Western Michigan. I think it's too many points. I can't get to Ohio winning by 10, so I'm going to go the other way and take the underdog. Next game, then I'll get to the comments. Leap of faith here with this one. I admit Notre Dame coming off a loss to Miami is not good. But this is a Notre Dame team that actually looked pretty strong when Marcus Burton returned. Remember, Marcus Burton was out for a while. They beat Boston College at home by 18. Then they lost away to Syracuse in a game they were winning for most of the game. They blew Virginia out away, which is not easy. So Virginia last night destroyed Pittsburgh. They beat Georgia Tech at home in a frisky game. Then they went away to Miami. Now, I recognize that Leonard Hamilton has announced this is going to be his last season. So this is a Florida State team now that may be playing with a little bit of emotion. They've lost 4 straight games. California, Stanford, Virginia Tech, Boston College. They have struggled. So this one is lower on the totem pole and will definitely be a half-unit play. It's a leap of faith. No one is going to take Notre Dame coming off the loss to Miami. But I do think Marcus Burton and Braden Shrewsbury are going to be the 2 best players on the floor tonight. And I do trust Shrewsbury as a coach over Leonard Hamilton, who has been wonderful at Florida State, but is now clearly in his last couple games before he retires. So I expect heavy bets to come in on Florida State. I expect a lot of support for Florida State here. I am going to take a leap of faith off the Miami loss that Notre Dame plays well and wins. I'll take Notre Dame plus 2.5, but only a half-unit play. I'm warning you now. Now we're getting a little more confident. This game makes absolutely no sense. Guys, Bowling Green is not good. Bowling Green is not good. I like them. I was on the beginning of the year, started watching them, looking at the numbers. They are not good. They have lost 5 straight games. Eastern Michigan home, inexcusable. Miami of Ohio, Toledo, Kent State, then Central Michigan away by 19. They are not playing well. They're very sloppy. They're very undisciplined. They don't make a lot of passes on offense. They go one-on-one a lot. I get Marcus Johnson. He's nice to watch. He's fun. He's a big guy. He can shoot threes, but he is not good on positional defense. He's very lazy at times. He doesn't run back down the floor. I don't like this Bowling Green team. On the other hand, Northern Illinois, who started 4-14, 0-6. Look at their last 3 games. Ball State home win by 10. Akron home lose by 10. Akron's the best team in the MAC, and they played really well. In fact, they were only down 5 with about 7 minutes left to go in that game, so they competed well. And then Toledo away, they lose by 4 in a game that they played very well, and they went 12 of 31 from three-point range. So Northern Illinois is ascending. Bowling Green stinks. So I'm going Northern Illinois plus 6.5 here at Bowling Green. I don't care where the game is. I am taking it there. That is it for the low-level picks. Let me get to your comments. You got some comments flying in. Let's get into it. Let's see. I love everybody talk. I love the family atmosphere talking here on the show. Yeah, lines move like crazy. Totally agree. We'll see what happens. Yeah, great opportunity today. I appreciate it. Okay, here we go. A couple more. Half unit play here too. I always tell you, you have to give me a reason to take the favorite. I don't like Davidson. I think they're soft. I don't think they're great. They're not great. They don't force turnovers. They're not great on the offensive boards. They play positional defense. Now, they don't turn it over, and they do shoot the three well, but they are the worst team at the A10 in defending inside the arc. I think Dayton comes with them with a whole fury tonight and gets them. Now, the only thing that worries me about this game, which is why this game will not be a full unit play, who is the one team that Dayton you wouldn't want in a look-ahead spot that Dayton is hosting coming up on Friday? Well, you know the answer. It's VCU. So VCU is coming up to Dayton. Could be a bit of a look-ahead spot. It is a lot of points. Davidson could get hot. I just don't trust Davidson. I think they're very soft. I think Dayton gets the win here. They usually dominate Davidson. If you look historically, they destroy them. So I'm laying 9, only with a half unit against Davidson because I just don't think they're very good. I love opportunities when I have coaches that I don't like. You know my thoughts on Murray State, on Steve Prohm, and Drake now on the road against Steve Prohm. Steve Prohm was sticking it to us a little bit because they were 4-2 and they were 10-7 and 4-2 in the Missouri Valley. Since that point, we have cleaned up fading Murray State. Illinois, Chicago away, 2 overtimes loss. Bradley home lost by 13. They beat Southern Illinois away. Congratulations. Belmont home, lose by 18, give up 95 points. Evansville away, lose by 4. Missouri State away, lose by 21. So fading them has been profitable. Drake is still the class of the Missouri Valley. They are playing exceptionally well. They got a break because Bradley lost. So they are 10-2. They are 1 game ahead of Bradley here. They can't afford a slip up. They have Valpo away coming up, then Illinois, Chicago. So they don't have any look ahead. So, or Murray State rather has Valpo, Illinois, Chicago, and Northern Iowa. Drake, on the other hand, has Indiana State, Illinois State. They don't play Bradley until after Valentine's Day. So this is a good game for them. They have won 8 straight games. They're 10-2. They're flying high. I think they get the win. I don't think they stumble here. They're great at forcing turnovers. And what the Division II coach, Ben McCollum, has done coming over to Drake has been outstanding. I am taking Drake minus 4.5. Let's see. You know what annoys me is I was fading Kentucky at the beginning of the year. And you guys know this. I talk about it all the time. That sometimes I'm a little early on a prediction and I go away when I should have stayed with it. I faded Kentucky with Mark Pope. I thought that it was going to be a transitional year. I had no idea if Mark Pope was going to be good or not. I just thought right away it would struggle, but he didn't. He beat Gonzaga on a semi-away in overtime. He beat Louisville at home. They beat Florida at home. They beat Mississippi State away, but they have started to regress. And the main reason is they're playing zero defense. They're 57.6%. That's what they're allowing inside the arc, which kudos to John Calipari. He picked up on, and they pounded them on the interior. Now they're going away to Mississippi against a Mississippi team that really needs this win. Mississippi has lost 4 of their last 5. They lost to Mississippi State, Texas A&M, Missouri, Auburn. They did beat Texas at home. There is no Lamont Butler in this game. He is still not playing. I think that hurts them. I think you get a jolt once in a while when the player is initially out. And they did get that jolt against Tennessee where they shot 12 of 24 from three-point range. I don't think they're going to be able to do that against Missouri. I get that Kobe Brea has been great. I get that Jackson Robinson is wonderful. Owa is very good as well. But they're a little weak on the bench. Trent Noah, Travis Perry, Andrew Carr, Colin Chandler's not great. Neither is Brandon Garrison. So they're a little starter heavy. They don't have Lamont Butler. And now they're going on the road against a coach I really like. I am taking Ole Miss minus 4.5 against Kentucky. I think I got off the Kentucky bandwagon a little too early. Not to say that Mark Pope hasn't done a great job, because he has, but I'm going with them there. I believe in Florida. I don't know how Todd Golden got through that whole scandal, but he did. They are coming off a terrible loss away against Tennessee. Now, they do go to Auburn, so you can call this a sandwich spot if you want, but the loss to Tennessee is going to be very much in their mindset. Now, the question is going to be, how healthy is Walter Clayton? Walter Clayton left the game with an injury and came back. Could they hold him back tonight? I guess. But that at home, they've been a buzzsaw. They beat Georgia by 30. They beat Texas by 24. They beat Tennessee by 30. They beat Stetson by 40. They beat North Florida by 54. They have been great at home. And Vanderbilt, shout out to Gus Kearns, who came on the pod on Saturday and said, first time ranked against Oklahoma, kind of back to life, back to reality. They have not played yet this year. I think Florida is really good at home. I know this is a big number, and if Walter Clayton is out and you get a little scared off, that's fine, but I'm rolling with, and I'm laying the 12.5 with Vanderbilt here. I do give credit to Frank Martin because he has improved a little bit. He's been able to get Massachusetts back to respectability. In fact, Massachusetts has won 4 of their last 5 games. They went away at Duquesne and won. Drew Joyce, as soon as I jump on the bandwagon, Drew Joyce is terrible now with Duquesne. They beat Fordham in triple overtime. They beat LaSalle at home. They beat G-Dub. They won away at Duquesne. But, folks, none of those games are St. Louis. St. Louis is an extremely well-coached team. St. Louis coached by Josh Scherz. St. Louis themselves have had struggles with injuries, but Robbie Avila is back. He is healthy. They had the tough loss at home against Dayton. In that game, Avila had the foul trouble. He got the 5 fouls and he fouled out, and they were 10 of 26 from three-point range, but they struggled. I think they are a better team than UMass. UMass has done a nice job. I just think this is a spot for St. Louis. I think Avila. I think Isaiah Swoop. I think they're just way too talented. Gibson Jimerson is one of the best three-point shooters in the country. UMass doesn't have a home court advantage yet, although they're getting better. I mean, they went from 5-10 to 10-12, so they've been 5-2 in their last 7 games, and they've won. They've gone 5-2 in their last 7, 8, 10 games. But I like St. Louis here. I'll take them at +1.5, even at UMass. I think it's time for St. Louis to get a nice win on the road. They did beat Richmond on the road. They struggled away at VCU. They struggled away at George Washington. But again, they were playing without Avila. They did hammer Fordham earlier away on the road as well. So I think they're ready to play, and they're a better team, and I think they get the job done tonight. Careful with this one because this could be a rallying cry for Penn State, who has fallen off a cliff. This is 8.5 points. This is a very tricky one. I would put this one at a half unit play here. Penn State has lost 7 of their last 8 games. The only game they won was the home game against Rutgers. Now, this game is at the Bryce Jordan Center. They are coming off a horrific loss to Ohio State. Minnesota is not good. The concern with Minnesota is they aren't a good team. So what happens is they normally start out poorly. They get a hot streak, and then they go in the tank again. And I'm worried that Minnesota is now on the wrong side of that because they lost away at Michigan State by 22, and they lost at home to Washington, which should not happen, by 3. But I do think this is a tick too high. I think Minnesota can compete here. Penn State is not fantastic. They have really struggled on offense. I do think Puff Johnson is still out. That hurts their depth a little bit. You have guys who can get hot, like Freddie DeLone, who's very up and down. Conan Niederheiser is fantastic. Zach Hicks can hit some threes. Baldwin is always a problem, but they really don't have much on the bench without Puff Johnson pushing everyone back and giving everyone a rest. So I'm taking the 8.5 here with Minnesota against Penn State. Purdue normally pounds Iowa. I just think that Purdue is a little bit overrated. They had a nice win over Indiana, but that was not a cover. They got pounded on the interior. I think Iowa goes to school on that and realizes they can do some things on the interior as well. Yes, Purdue is 9-2. Yes, Purdue beat Michigan big at home and then Indiana back-to-back. But now they're going on the road. Fran always has a lively team there. They're terrible on defense, okay, which is always a problem. But at home, they normally shoot well. And I think this is too many points. If you look at the metrics, Iowa's only 4-6. If you look at the metrics, they are the worst team, Iowa, in the Big Ten in the following metrics: adjusted defensive efficiency, effective field goal percentage allowed, 3-point percentage allowed, 2-point percentage allowed. This is not for the faint of heart, but I don't think Purdue's winning on the road at Iowa by 8 points. I think this is a tick too high. If this number was 3.5 or 4.5, I'd probably stay away. But I do think 7.5 is a lot for Iowa, and I don't trust Purdue. They have 3 players. They have Foster Loyer, they have Braden Smith, they have Trey Kaufman-Renn. If you can do something to those guys, and I do think Iowa can do a little something here to Trey Kaufman-Renn to limit him. And if they can do that inside with Owen Freeman and some of those guys, I think they can get the job done. I'm taking Iowa plus 7.5 against Purdue. For some reason, I have this love of Xavier, and I think Xavier is a team that can absolutely get hot in the NCAA tournament. They remind me a lot, Xavier, of the NC State team last year. They are extremely talented, but they had most of the first half of the year without Zach Freemantle. And then Freemantle came back and took him a while to get acclimated. But look at their last few games. Away at DePaul, win by 14. Home Nova, win by 6. Away Marquette, win by 2. St. John's away, they led that game from start to finish, lost in overtime. Connecticut home, win by 4. Creighton away, they battled, but they lost. Creighton was bombing from three-point range. Now they're home to Georgetown. I believe in this Xavier team. I think they have a tremendous amount of talent. They are top 20 in three-point shooting. They are also the best team in the Big East at defending the three, which is why the game in Creighton shocked me. But Creighton at home shoots well against anyone, and they were 11 to 25 from three-point range. That's the only thing that let them down. I like this team a lot. Freemantle inside. Conwell is flammable. Davian McKnight's a good point guard. Dalen Swain is one of the most underrated players in college basketball with his length, his ability. He reminded me, who's that wing that was on Houston a while ago? Now you're going to make me look him up. The Houston player a couple of years ago, long, lengthy, good defender, transferred from UMass. Dijon Giroux. That's who he reminds me of. I really like Xavier. And Xavier is going to be a team that's going to be an 8-9 seed in the NCAA tournament that's going to cause a problem for the 1 seed that they face in the second round. I'm taking Xavier minus 8.5. Last few games, like I said, we have to save for the Discord there. I can get to them in a minute. Let me get to your comments. You got any questions here? Sorry. Hold on. Let's see. Here we go. Trevor says revenge spot for Drake too. I think you're right, Trevor. Did I mention that? I apologize if I didn't. Yeah, Drake lost to Murray State the first time. Thank you for that, Trevor. Yeah, I like Drake tonight. I really do. I made Drake 5.5, like 4.5. Yep. Rebs up, Trevor. I'm with you on Ole Miss. Nick likes Arizona State first half. I'm fine with that. You know, Nick, put this in the chat if you're still here. Here's my issue. Arizona State versus Kansas State tonight, I think, right? Is that the matchup? I looked at this game. I don't have this one on the schedule, but this was a hot debate in my group. Yeah. So I believe in streaks, and Kansas State has won 3 straight games. West Virginia, Oak State, Iowa State. So they've been hot. That was a big one over Iowa State away by 19. You want to go against them tonight? You're going to fade them against an Arizona State team that's very up and down? I get it. I don't know. I don't like that spot, but I do get it there. Yeah, Wags missed the Kentucky 5.5. Let's see. Hyrone's going Drake Ole Miss parlay. I'm good with that. That's fine. I get it, Wags. So the Florida. Yeah, I think Clayton plays. I think they have to get a win now after the Tennessee game. I think they're ticked off. And Wags, what have you seen with Florida at home that makes you think they're not getting 90 tonight? And if they're getting 90, what's Vanderbilt getting? I just don't see it. Yeah, I'm on Florida minus 12.5. I am. Yes. Yeah. Sorry. If I said it wrong, I apologize. Yeah, I love Minnesota. It could come back, Wags. Hang in there also. Nick is on Minnesota also. Very good. I listen, Trevor, I stick to my handicaps from the beginning of the year, and I've been lower on Purdue. It's worked with UConn. Now, it didn't work with UConn last game because they ended up scalding hot. So you're right. Purdue could start tonight and be on absolute fire. I get it. I think it's too many points. Oh, is Freeman out? Is he out for the season? I didn't hear that. He's out for he ended up being out for that's a killer. That is a killer. Wags in the over in the Iowa game. Oh. Well, with Freeman out, I'm just worried. I mean, they're going to have to run and gun and shoot. I get it. And their defense is horrific. I don't mind the over there. Oh, he's the fingers out for the year. I thought maybe he was back. That's a killer. Bet. Let me mention this one. This is one of my picks that's going to go in Discord, but this is what I'll tell you. I'll give you a little taste here for the people who come to this. I am always excited about unranked teams favored at home over ranked opponents. Unranked teams favored at home over ranked opponents. Why? Because everyone who ends up picking the game, they see a favored team on the road getting points, and their knee-jerk reaction is to take it. I always like that. There's a little hint for you. BYU tonight is very, very interesting. Let's see. This one is not being – I'll put this one up, Tommy, now. Thank you. Let's see. Let me get away from that. Hold on. The Wisconsin game. Yeah. Now, this is what you're going to tell me, guys. You guys are going to say to me, yeah, Tommy, sorry. You guys are going to say to me, Mike, you just hate Indiana. I do. I do hate Indiana because I don't think a team that is centered around the bigs can end up winning long term in 2025 in college basketball. I think you need good guard play. It doesn't surprise me that you've seen Indiana lose 5 of their last 6. Iowa away, they lost by 25. That's almost inexcusable, by the way. Illinois home, they lost by 25. Brutal. Ohio State, they won away in overtime. Nice, because Ohio State's the one team that's very helter-skelter. They can hit with the bigs. Northwestern away, lost. Maryland home, they were winning. They lost. Purdue away, again, they got inside with the bigs. So the question is going to be, can Indiana establish their bigs tonight against Wisconsin? Because if their bigs have a good game, they can play well. I don't think they can, because here are the points scored for Wisconsin at home. 83 against Nebraska, 70 against Ohio State, close win, 80 against Minnesota, 116 against Iowa. They score at home and they shoot well at home, and their guards are going to be able to do some damage here. John Tonje, Max Klesmit, Blackwell is good. I think they're going to be able to do some damage. I think Crowell inside and the guards, the way they're rebounding, will limit the upside of Indiana. I am taking Wisconsin and laying the points in this matchup because I do think that Wisconsin is going to get a win, and I just think they're the better team. They have Iowa away, which is not a look ahead for them, and Indiana has shown me nothing. They have Michigan home, Indiana, so maybe they're looking ahead to that, and they just have not played well. And this is their 3rd road game in the last 4 games, and it's their 5th road game in the last 6 games. No good. I'm taking them there. Okay, we got to get out of here. The last one, let's see. Yeah, I think it's I don't like it, Trevor. I don't like it at all. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Yeah, Bucky by 20. Bucky by 20. Very good. Okay, here we go. The games that will be in the Discord that we will have for a parlay and a discussion later tonight, I will give them to you, and there's several. Air Force Nevada, Oklahoma Auburn, USC Northwestern, Michigan State, UCLA, the Bonnies Loyola Chicago. And if you don't know where I'm going there, then you're not paying attention. Baylor, Texas Tech, BYU, Arizona, but I gave you a hint. And then the Arizona State, Kansas State game, which I talked about as well. Those games are going to be in Discord. Remember, sign up for FTN Fantasy. Go to the website, sign up, then hit Discord. You come in the college basketball Discord. We talk all night long. Let's build off last week's 6-1 start. I appreciate it. Sister Jean's system play. LOL. Okay, have a good one today, Wags. I appreciate it. Trevor, you're the man. You guys in and out as always. College basketball betting show. Only place to be. We'll be back Thursday, 10 o'clock. Appreciate you. FTN Fantasy. We find you the edge. Here are 3 players to watch in the NCAA tournament.